Before the 1400s, there was no such thing called race or racism, right? So to begin, I think the topic, even listening to the debate in itself, is a little bit cart before the horse, because the first thing we got to do is we got to define racism first, right? So what is racism? And the vast majority of people, especially in our times, they don't know what it is. They don't understand it. They don't know where it came from. They say basically what they think it is, or what is purported for it to be in terms of feelings or cognitive bias or things of this nature, right? And racism has nothing to do with any of that. Before the 1400s, there was no such thing called race or racism, right? There was no such thing called race or racism. This is a social construct that really began in the mid 1400s. And what was going on during this time is that Europe was in big trouble. Okay, they were basically, suffering from poverty, famine. They had all kinds of wars, all kind of stuff, right? And they started hearing about this gold that was going on in Africa, so they start making expeditions to Africa. And in the mid, I want to say, what is it, 1450? I think it's 1456. If I'm not mistaken, 1456, 1455, somewhere around this time, 1450s, right? There is a man, his name is Henry the Navigator, and he's an explorer. He explored for the Portuguese. They were the first ones to kind of go out there. And he brought back about 16 Africans that were gifted to him from Africa to Portugal, okay? And the Pope at this time, the Pope's name at this time, his name was a man called Pope Innocent the Eighth. Again, I think I talked about this last time. Okay, and Pope Innocent.
Did you say Fishers? You said gifted. You mean they were given as slaves?
Yeah, that is correct. Because slavery before the devilish chattel slavery that came out of Europe, there was no such thing as race, as I mentioned before. At these times, there was nations, there were tribes, and there were religions. So slavery was an institution that is very, very, very old, right? Even long before this devilish European chattel slavery. But how you became a slave previously before that is either you were captured like a prisoner of war, or you indentured yourself into slavery, like you volunteered for slavery, or you were basically some sort of criminal, and then you were put into slavery. This was what slavery was before that.